Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, how you doing, guys? It's me, the one AJ Anthony Jordan, representing the Ministry of Wrestling. So you know what that means? We're here to talk another pay-per-view and give our predictions, but not just any pay-per-view, not just any prediction, guys. This is All In, the biggest show in the UK, bar none, and that's with the highest respect to WWE. The gate numbers say what they say. It is what it is. We're in Wembley, the home of entertainment when it comes to the UK, and the Ministry will be there. So look out for us. We'll be at Box Park. We'll be there in the stadium making noise, because that's what we do, and we'd love you to join in with us, actually. But you know what, let's get down to the prediction show from 0 hour all the way down to the final countdown. And is it the final countdown on Daniel Bryan's career? We don't know. We will see. Will there be surprises? Will we see the master of the half crab? Enough talking and get to the predictions. And let's start with 0 hour. Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. Had the guys vote? Let's have a look. See, most people would go with the experienced wrestler that is the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii and Willow Nightingale. I, however, maybe stupidly, I'm going to go for Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway, because essentially I'm going down the element of, one, it's too predictable the other way, plus let the heels call the shot, then the face has to climb a bigger mountain. You never get the face winning. So Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway for the win, and then Willow Nightingale to win it all out. But Stokely and Chris for the win at All In.
I apologise for being in a tank top and having these surroundings. I'm abroad with the family at the moment, but still got to get the AEW All In 2024 predictions in. Opening match, Chris and Stokely versus Willow and Tomohiro Ishii. This one's really straightforward and simple. Willow and Ishii are going to win this one. You have to look at the fact that Stokely versus Ishii is the male pairing is completely unbalanced. On that level alone, Ishii's going to destroy the guy, so it's going to be a fun spot. And on the ladies' front, I mean, look, AEW has got a massive hard-on for Willow Nightingale. I personally don't see it. She's never been my vibe, but she's got legion of fans. Happy you guys love her. That's awesome. But yeah, Willow and Ishii to win this one.
I should pick Chris Statlander to win because she's the one I know. But because of this, what read on Wikipedia, that the winner of this gets to pick the stipulation. Yeah, and Chris the heel. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Chris Statlander to win because the heel should win. Pick something stupid, crazy. Let's make it a full count anywhere, whatever match. And then because of something dumb like that is why in the second match, then the babyface can come back. So yeah, I know it's a tag team match, but I know one person. So I want to go with Chris Statlander to win this and their tag team partner.
This match is going to be interesting and funny at the same time. You got Chris Statlander, and obviously the real beef is between her and Willow Nightingale. I think Ishii and Hathaway, there's going to be some funny moments in it, but obviously the main focus is going to be with the two girls. And, who should I say? I think a little payback is due, so obviously it's probably going to be Hathaway that takes the loss. And I wouldn't be surprised if Willow actually pins him, to be fair. But there might be some justice put back in the world. So my pick, I'll say Willow Nightingale and Ishii.
You got Chris Statlander teaming up with her manager, Stokely Hathaway, to take on Willow Nightingale and of all people, Tomohiro Ishii. Yeah. It's going to be this fun little quick one. I don't imagine this going too long. I imagine Hathaway's going to get his ass kicked. I reckon everyone's going to ride off into the sunset, man. This I want to get people on the cards. Not much here. So, yeah. Willow and Tomo for the win.
Okay, so match one already has the Ministry split. That's not very often that it happens, but that's 0 hour. Now, guys, let's get onto the main card. The order may not be the correct order, and also all of our recordings are pre-Dynamite, pre-Rampage, pre-Collision. I hope everyone had a good time in Wales. This is us just doing our predictions as quick as we can because we have other stuff in life, sadly, so we can't predict as it all comes out. And besides, other people have got their predictions out, so allow us. Right, okay, now we move on. Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the women's title. Who will win? Let's have a look.
Everyone seems to be saying that because of what's happened, that means Toni Storm wins. I don't get that. I'm a believer that if you're going to do a heel turn like that, it has to have a reason behind it. I'd also say that if this were earlier in Toni Storm's title reign, I would definitely see the logic behind that. But given that she's been one of the best AEW women's champions, and given that Toni likes to I say kind of because we are in the UK, and Mariah May is obviously from London, but she's a heel, so it's kind of like, ugh. I don't know how the crowd's going to react to that one. That will be interesting. I don't see how you can look past Mariah May. That heel turn, the mega heel turn she's had, and the fact that it's time to take the belt off Toni. I say Mariah May is going to win this one.
So I've been saying forever, Toni Storm, because I know Toni Storm. But there has to be some surprises, and I'm going to go with this one being a surprise. I can't say the first May. I'm a bad reader. But yeah, Tamaya May, I don't know their wrestlers. Anyway, I'm going with that person to win. I have no idea who she is. I've never seen. But my reason for going for the win there is just to be something shocking. So why not do it on this card? I don't believe the other women, there's several actual women match. Check for more prediction for that one. But yeah, I believe this is the one that's going to be a shocking, something's going to happen, and it's going to be a loss for Toni Storm, because I believe Toni Storm's had the belt for quite some time now. Yeah, Toni Storm to lose. All right.
This has been a really, really interesting story, and it's had a very long build of it. So congratulations to AEW and Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May in order to have been able to have carried out this story for such a long time. It's almost like the mother versus daughter scene here, or teacher versus student. But now we have the AEW Women's World Championship on the line as well. Now, it's been a tremendous turn, although many of us saw it coming one day. And could it be the person who actually gets the title off of Toni? Because it's really interesting now. But regardless of the double turn, things are really interesting now. And people are still taking Toni's side, but I think that's probably going to be the icing on the cake. Yet she's still yet to get a comeuppance for the turn in its first place. So that's where it gets interesting, you know. I'm going to say you're still your women's world champion, Timeless Toni Storm. I don't think she's going to get it in her first attempt. Maybe eventually she'll get it in terms of Mariah May, but I think Toni's got a point to prove and a receipt to give out. So yeah, for me, Timeless Toni Storm, still your women's AEW world champion.
Definitely one of the more harder matches for me on the card, man. I'm not really sure which way to go because Mariah May has been on a tear. They're pushing her. She's wrestling in on the biggest pay-per-view in her hometown. Now might be a good time to make her champion. But on the other side of the coin, you do have Timeless Toni Storm, who continues to be a national treasure, who continues to have one of the best acts in wrestling. And really, maybe they want her to lose it to a more bigger, a more established opponent. I reckon at some point we're going to have to see somebody Mercedes in it take on Timeless. But it might even be a title for title type situation. They might want to give Monet everything, yeah? So let me go with Timeless Toni Storm to retain her title.
Somewhat harder than I expected. I've always been we need the great foil for Toni Storm. Who would be that great foil? I didn't picture Mariah. And she done what she done, and we saw the turn. Again, I don't watch AEW as much as others, so others might be like, the writing was on the wall. How did you not see it? But that's the way it went. And now I'm thinking, could this be it? She is a Brit, and it's in the UK. I know we done that last year with Soraya winning. Tony Storm was involved in that match, but wasn't in the match. Two outcasts at the time. This is a very, very tough one for me, but I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna go for Mariah to win. Mariah May to be your new AEW Women's Champion, because hey, why not? She's given Tony the biggest foil. So let's go with it. Mariah May for the win. There you have it. Most of the ministry are behind Mariah May, but Simsy has been a bit bold there and has gone for the timeless one to continue her timeless reign. Anyway, let's move on and keep it in the title reign, and let's see which way the FTW title goes. Does it go with Hook, or does it stick with the learning tree, Chris Jericho? How'd the guys vote? Let's have a look.
Hook should finally do it, and Jericho might get booed at this pay-per-view because these are the smart fans. But I want to pick Jericho nonetheless because I'm a Jericho fan and I still don't see the appeal of Hook. Little skinny guy. He's strong, he's so strong, he's so strong. Is he? Everyone jumping as he's throwing. I don't know. I'm sticking with Jericho to win because that guy, he's on my Rushmore, and he'll forever be on my Rushmore. Every company has made a name. Y2J, Chris Jericho to win.
Alright, so now we've got the learning tree, Chris Jericho versus Hook for the FTW title. And this learning tree high guys version of Chris Jericho has pretty much had its run now. Yes, he's managed to get a little group out of it and all of this, but it's time that Hook gets his payback. It's been this long since he's been without that title, and I think it's time he gets it back. And then Chris can venture onto something else different, or move on to an actual title maybe, who knows. But actually, let's just give me an idea, actually, who would go after if he wins a certain title. But there you go. Hook to be your new FTW champion.
Gonna lie, I'm not really so sure that we actually really need to see this match again, you know. Not really so sure that like Hook needs to be going for the FTW title again, but hey, they're doing it, and they're doing it like on the biggest stage possible. Much like last year, Hook is gonna have his moment again, yeah. But then again, saying that though, yeah, like Jericho lost last year at All In as well, so is he gonna lose this year? But then, what would be the point of making, like, you know, Jack getting his ass kicked, like, repeatedly, not get his title back? Yeah, I'm going to go Hook for the win, man. Hook gets his title back.
See, last year I bet against Hook. Last year I also bet against Ospreay, and essentially I went for Jericho, and Jericho bloody lost, and Hook won. So maybe it's turn around as fair play, but I obviously don't know how to predict either of these guys. Now, the thing is, if Hook loses, he can't get another FTW title shot while Jericho is champion. On the other side, we have Jericho, who, you know, I mean, the FTW title does belong in Hook's family, so does it go out of there? I did at first think it was going to go back to Hook. I thought Hook would reclaim what's been his for the longest while, and has been out of his family for, I believe, the longest while. This is the longest I've seen the FTW out of the Taz Hook element, and obviously Team Taz family. I'm going to go with Jericho to win, not only because he's got the whole learning tree behind him, but it's an interesting concept. Hook can't win it, so Hook has to wait for someone to beat Jericho to then get his title shot, and who knows, Hook may just screw Jericho over to lose so he can call his shot. So I'm going to go with Jericho to win. Don't let me down, Chris. That would be 2 years in a row.
The fact that I have to look at this match card and realise that I'm going to be suffering, and I do not use that word lightly, but suffering a Chris Jericho match with this awful character he's got. And I know people are going to say, oh, that's the point, you're meant to hate the character. No. This is nothing to do with him crafting out some brilliant character that we're all meant to hate. The crowd turned on him well before this character came in. There were chants of please retire well before the learning tree arrived. he did a smart thing and tried to paper over cracks and try to be like, no, I made this character. No, you didn't, Chris. The way the Jericho Vortex works of drawing these young guys into him to keep himself up, but not actually adding to their career, I'm so over it. It's got to stop. And as I say, the fact that I'm going to have to suffer this match and look at the entire match card and realize I'm not getting a Kazuchika Okada match on this card is a disgrace. Listen, this is at the time of recording. That may change. If we do get Okada on the card, count me happy. Maybe Okada's in the gauntlet match. But it's a joke that Jericho is on this card and Okada's not. Hook's gonna win.
Okay. So we continue to be split. Now, I tell you what, if you think we're split now, wait till this one, because we have no bloody idea who's going to be in it. So, guys, it's that time. It's the Casino Gauntlet match. Who are we going to pick? Who's going to be on it? We don't know. Let's have a look.
Now, there seems to have been a Casino Gauntlet match with the winner facing the AEW champion. So who's likely to go after the winner of the AEW World Championship match? It's kind of hard to determine, but the only name that stands out that's been advertised is Orange Cassidy. So who else could be in that match? This is a hard one because I'm really ill-informed about this match, as would the rest of us in the group, and this is a stab in the dark one here. So for the way it's been advertised, I guess I'm just going to have to go with Orange Cassidy. I guess he's the next one in line for a world title fight. I can't even think of anyone else who would take his place right now. Aleister Black, I don't know. Hook, I don't know. It could be anyone, really. It's really poorly advertised. So I guess by default, I'm just going to have to say Orange Cassidy.
So considering like we're doing this prediction video before the final AEW, don't really know any of the participants of the Casino Royale. Now, I would say if Okada is actually in this, he's the one who's going to take the win. However, I don't know if he's actually in that match or if he's even on the card at all. So let me just go with what I do know. Orange Cassidy is here. Orange Cassidy is extremely popular, so Orange Cassidy for the win.
You know, in a world where we can find out 27 out of 30, 30 out of 30, maybe even 40 out of 40 in a Royal Rumble, it's very weird that we can't find out all members of a Casino Gauntlet. We have Orange Cassidy versus at this current point. And I don't know how to play this. Maybe there are names that have been revealed. This is recorded pre-Dynamite Collision and the rest in Wales. There's not much I can say. Do we get some Rev Pro surprises? Does Michael Oku turn up here if he doesn't turn up for Ospreay? Does Connor Mills turn up, which would be awesome? Does Bobby Lashley turn up, or does he turn up at the other match, which I'm also going to slaughter later on? There's a lot in this that makes it very difficult to call, and I don't know. Really, part of me feels like I should omit the video, and you may never see this if I realise that all of us are clutching at straws for the win. I feel like saying it should be other wins as opposed to Orange Cassidy. Now, I'm dragging this on too long. Two names stick out to me. Ricochet and, well, Bobby Lashley would as well. But Ricochet, three names. Ricochet, Adam Cole, Hangman Adam Page. Obviously, if Swerve were to win, Hangman would be the obvious choice, which obviously negates the whole Bryan Danielson situation. But Undisputed Kingdom could do with a revamp because that really sucked. So Adam would be a good one. I just don't know, guys. I don't know. I want to say other, but that would be a cheat. It'd be too easy. Do you know what? The Elite need that one last man. Adam Hangman Page for the win, and then they'll go on a quest for gold elsewhere. Hangman Page for the win because reasons.
Kind of impossible to pick this one. Orange Cassidy versus who knows in a gauntlet match. Listen, there's something to be said about... So, spoiler for later, if you are a believer that Swerve Strickland is going to retain here, his belt in the main event, then there would be an argument to be made that Hangman Page would be one of the entrants, and he wins this gauntlet match, and he has part 4 of his rivalry with Swerve, which I can hear that. I don't think it's going to be Hangman. I will call a surprise entrant maybe being Ricochet. Again, pulling that out my arse. It's just would be cool to see him perform at Wembley and be treated like a star. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'll pick the one guy who I know is in it. Let's go with Orange Cassidy.
I can't believe this match is even on the card and we're trying to make a prediction for it. It's the gauntlet match where just one person. The only one we know is on it is Orange Cassidy, so I'm going to pick Orange Cassidy. I don't know who's going to show up. There's going to be a lot of surprises. People are going to lose their mind when probably Bobby Lashley come out. Maybe Bebe comes back. Maybe he's come back from injury. I don't know if he's back from injury beforehand, but this would be the one to make everyone pop. This is the Royal Rumble type match where everyone comes out. It's surprising, but I'm going to pick Orange Cassidy. He might start it and then lose, but let's pick the one person we know is in the match. Orange Cassidy to win. Shouldn't be on the list of stuff we're to do, but hopefully everyone loses on this one.
I'm going to remain eternally hopeful that anyone but Orange Cassidy wins, because at least that way it's a 0 all round. It's a very awkward match to make a prediction on for a prediction show, but hey, fortune favours the bold, and maybe fortune favours those who stick to the facts. Either way, let's move on and go for what should have been the main event, the clash for the US or United States title, MJF versus Will Ospreay. How did we vote? Let's have a look.
In what is actually the biggest match on the card in my eyes, and the match that they've actually put the most build into. Yeah, of course, I'm talking about Will Ospreay versus MJF, man. Now, really, again, you can't go any way on this one, because I know, like, a lot of people say that Tony Khan is a romantic and he likes to give the fan those moments and everything. But at the same time, though, like, this whole MJF American gimmick, he's playing it so well and he's getting so much heat. However, he's not really going to apply so hard outside of the UK. I think this is a whole thing to really just stick it to UK fans, because All In, of course, is in London this year, and a hometown hero was Ospreay. I mean, when Ospreay's had the biggest moment possible, since we're not like ready to quite put the world championship on him yet, it's him getting back his international championship in style. And yeah, and do you think he will, man? You know, Will Ospreay for the win.
Ospreay, 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 Ospreay. That is the tune I'm expecting to hear all over Wembley on Sunday. But more importantly, guys, look, it has to be Will Ospreay. I know he was promised the main event. He's pushed back, and now he's in the US title match. Hopefully to make it back, the international or the continental, it doesn't matter whichever title he's fighting for, he's going to fight for, and he's going to win. And the ultimate thing will be, he's going to use the Tiger Driver by any means necessary. He will stop MJF, and that's the way it's going to go. I could be wrong. I doubt it. Will Ospreay for the win, bruv.
One of the two hardest matches for me to call this one, because I can see it going either way. I have to say, if they do put the belt back on Will Ospreay, it will feel a bit like, oh, you just took it off of him to give him his moment at Wembley, which might be the way they go about it. And there's a lot of stock to be had about saying keep the belt on MJF. This is genuinely really hard to call. I'm going to go with the fact that Tony Khan is a crowd pleaser, and I say that not pejoratively, I say that in a good way. My pick will be Will Ospreay, but I will not be surprised at all if MJF retains, but my pick is Will.
Bro, no doubt. Biggest pop's going to be of tonight is going to be for this guy. Will Ospreay is going to become the new US champ. I'm picking because, come on, from what I saw at the Rev Pro show we went to, Will has to win. And it's in the UK. Can you imagine he left the Indies, went to AEW and then just to get beat at Wembley? Nah. I know MJF is hot, but it's got to be Will Ospreay, and I'm going to pick him. Win, lose, or draw is a winner for me. All right, Will Ospreay to win this match.
The one thing that really kind of confuses me is this going to be a hot potato situation with the international, now called the American Championship, with MJF and Will Ospreay? It wasn't too long ago that MJF got the title off of him, whether it's nefarious means or not. He's only just got that title and he's just changed it to personify it to his own American Championship. So it's just like a short gimmick? Is it a long gimmick? He's only defended it once or twice since he's changed it, probably even once, to be fair. And there's still no come around to it. So it's really interesting as to know whether Will Ospreay is going to do it on home soil as well, or is there going to be another upset? It's going to be interesting. But I think the winner in this match, I think they're going to do one of those upsets pretty similar to another company, and I think MJF is going to retain. So still your American champion, MJF.
Okay, guys. Okay. Again, there's a small split. People are unsure, but we want to back our boy Will. You could do it, Will. Wembley's got your back. Anyway, let's keep it moving because you know what? Let's try and keep this one under an hour, even though it's a big card. Let's move on to the coffin match. Jack Perry versus Darby Allin. Title on the line. Who will win? Let's have a look. This may be my most illogical way of thinking, but I'm going to go with it nonetheless. I am going to go for Jack Perry for the win because last year I went for Jack Perry for the win, but he lost. Last year Darby Allin won. So let's give it a different twist. Plus he's elite. So yeah, Jack Perry, the man formerly known as Jungle Boy, for the win over Darby Allin. Put that punk in a bloody casket and close the lid, Jack. You've got this. Retain your title, son. Jack Perry for the win.
The fact that this is a coffin match made it definitely harder to pick. On a personal level, I've never seen a coffin match live, so on that level, I'm psyched that I get to see one. I think it's too early to take the belt off Jack Perry. Darby Allin, he's kind of bulletproof. I don't think he needs to be TNT champion again. I do think, I'm going to echo Big Tone's words here and say Darby Allin is a ready-made world champion in the waiting. I don't know about putting the TNT belt on him again, and for that reason, I'm going to give my pick to Jack Perry.
Well, out of the two that had a fight last year, one's back, and he should be back. Jack Perry, I know I'm calling you by your right name. You forever be Jungle Boy to me. I'm going to always pick Jack Perry to win just because he's the first wrestler I watched in AEW and I thought, yes, I like this guy. I like this product. Darby, if you're not with Sting, I'll always pick Darby Allin because Sting never lost at a pay-per-view, so I'll always pick Darby. You're not with Sting anymore, so you can eat a loss. You can take a turbo shot. But yeah, I'm going with Jungle Boy, I'm going to say his real name. Can't say his real name, I can't remember it. Jack Perry to win.
Now, speaking of personalising titles, Jack Perry has only just personalised the TNT Championship. But obviously this rivalry with Darby Allin is obviously coming to boiling point now. And does it get finalised at Wembley Stadium? Does it get finalised at All In? And on top of it, it's a coffin match, a match that Darby specialises in. So he's had the belt, and I don't know if he's really done anything with it besides change the way it looks. But, you know, a couple of wrestlers have done that and they've not held the title long. And it could be the same case for Perry right now. Although, you know, I think what he wanted to do to him previous match, he's going to finish right now. I think the biggest way to hurt him is not to set him on fire, thank God, but to take that TNT title away from him. So I'm going to say that Darby Allin wins and is for the third time the TNT champion. So Darby Allin for the win.
This match actually will surprise a lot of people with how good it's going to end up being. Yeah, as the scapegoat's taken on Darby Allin in the coffin match. Yeah, it's Darby Allin on pay-per-view, and he's going to go crazy, he's going to go nuts. I still think Jack Perry's got a lot to prove as well, so look for him to be trying his best. As for who's walking out with the TNT title, that's difficult, because again, I do just think the Elite are on a hell of a tier right about now. And like, yeah, we could put the title back on Darby, but is that really needed right at this minute? Nah, I think the official of all of the Elite holding gold, I think that needs to continue for a while. So I'm gonna go Jack Perry to retain his TNT title.
Look, either Leon knows something that the rest of us don't, or he's just picking the wrong way, and I'm hoping it's that. But anyway, let's not worry about who's there. You guys, you comment below who you agree with. You comment below, let us know. Would love to hear your predictions too. Just hit us up. And again, we are going to be at Wembley. If you see us at Box Park, you see us at Wembley Stadium, give us a holler, man. We'd love to talk wrestling with you. Anyway, let's keep it moving. We are talking the London ladder match. 4 teams all vying for a title. Who do we pick? Let's have a look.
It would make me very happy to see the House of Black treated right again. I think for me, they were probably the best trios champions we've had in AEW. I don't think that's saying too much. I mean, the list hasn't exactly been long, so I don't know, grading on a curve. It's tricky because there's not much stock in any of these teams. I kind of love them all, the Patriarchy, the Bang Bang Gang, and House of Black, they're all great. Christian in a this is the ladder match, isn't it? I got that one wrong. My previous pick doesn't change. The Young Bucks will still retain, but Christian in a ladder match just smells like a win to me. So I'm going to say the Patriarchy retain their belts.
One of the members of this team is Christian, so I'm picking Christian. Look, I'm a fan of Christian Cage, so I gotta pick Christian Cage all the time. Is he going by Christian Cage still? But he's finally on his own, that's all I know. Christian! Believe it or not, a lot of people love Edge, but between Edge and Christian was much better, and I'm gonna stick with that and go, Christian, you're finally on your own, do you think, in a trios, but yeah, I don't know who else is in this match. I'm picking one person for a trios match. Oh, Kill Switch. Jungle West old teammate. So yeah.
With this one, a ladder match. Now, if anyone has history in ladder matches, it's Christian. Obviously teaming with Adam Copeland over the years. But still, House of Black, they could have something to prove. But then so could the Bang Bang Gang as well. But in this situation, I don't think there's too much to look into here. As threatening as both teams are, I think there's going to be that slight situation of a team being distracted by the other team, and then the Patriarchy are going to capitalize. So still, your trios champion, the Patriarchy, involving Christian.
So, yeah, and what could also be one of the best matches of the night, man, you're going to have this trios chaos, the Fatal 4-Way, and I just reckon, like, they're probably going to announce it. I don't think they're going to wait to announce the secret team at All In. I reckon that's probably going to be there's probably going to be an announcement about it this week on either Dynamite or Collision. Therefore, we'll know who the actual people are going into the match. If it remains a surprise, I would have said the surprise team was going to win, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So therefore, I'm going to have to go with Patriarchy to retain, and what surely is going to be a crazy, emotion-filled roller coaster ride of a match.
So the Patriarchy would be cool. The Bang Bang Gang would definitely be cool. And then House of Black. I always bet on Black, right? But they've been trios champ. The Bang Bang Gang have been trios champ. The Patriarchy haven't, and there's a surprise team. Do we have the Hurt Association? Do we have the Death Triangle. I think in my head, in my heart, I feel like Death Triangle would be the ones. I don't know. I can't remember if they were the first trios champ, weren't they? Or they won it. Ladder match with a man like Killswitch would really work in their favor. I feel like a surprise team would be a good way to win. And I was showing off to the guys that I could do these predictions in under a minute, but because everything's so up in the air, a la AEW, it's hard to call it in under 30 seconds. I'm going to go mystery team dependent. If it's Death Triangle, it'd be cool to see them all in. And hey, guess what? They didn't go to WWE. But I'm going to go with the Patriarchy. If it's a new team, they might just win, like the Hurt Business and their new banner of a name. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriarchy because, hey, why not? And we can check out on everyone's dad. Yeah, and Christian lost last year. But that matters not. We are going to go for the Patriarchy for the win in the London ladder match. Do it for us, Christian. Thank you. Hey, we're all back on track. We're all back on track. Anyway, guys, let's go from one multi-man tag team match to another one. This time, yes, we are talking the AEW tag titles. The Bucks, FTR, and the Acclaimed. Everybody loves the Acclaimed, but do we think they'll win? There's only one way to find out. Let's have a look.
The bane of my existence. These guys. I'm tired of FTR versus the Bucks. The Young Bucks and FTR should stop wrestling. Their style don't work. But at least you have the Acclaim in there to bring a balance between the high-flying Young Bucks and the ground and pound FTR. But with that said, I always get it wrong. I'm going to get it wrong again. But I'm still going to say Super Kick Party is going to win. So yeah, I'm going for Young Bucks to win. Even though you're going to lose and waste my point, I'm still picking Young Bucks.
Now, in this tag team match, the rivalry seems to be going on between the Acclaimed and FTR. You know, who's going to be on that tag team run next? And it's very hard to say so because FTR have been putting away matches and so have the Acclaimed. Both teams have respectively done their thing. So it's kind of hard to determine who truly are the number one contenders. Although FTR seem to be getting in the business of the Acclaimed, but then obviously now you've got the Young Bucks involved. So there's that. And it's almost like there's too much of a distraction that the Young Bucks may walk away with this one again, you know, leaving the two tag teams to continue their rivalry. And then the Young Bucks would focus on someone else. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I think the Young Bucks are going to retain here. I don't know what it is, but I think that the rivalry between FTR and the Acclaimed is so high that, you know, there's going to be a mistake on one of them two sides, and the Young Bucks are going to capitalize. You know, it's just one of those situations where it's just inevitable to happen. So, yeah, I'm going to go Young Bucks to retain.
Possibly could be the match of the night in my eyes because it could have like a lot of action, man. You got this triple threat tag team championship match, and the way I see it, man, you know, you got what is probably classed as the three best teams in AEW going up against each other, man. So we seem to be seeing a bit more of an edge to it, the Acclaimed. Now might be a good time to put the title on them. I don't really see FTR, even though they haven't had a title reign in a while. I don't really think they need another big moment at Wembley. Yeah, they had it last year. What I do think is the Young Bucks and the Elite in general need to keep the whole thing of being the Elite going. And to do that, they need the championship gold, innit? Yeah, to like the top guys in the company, and to keep this whole EVP storyline, like, you know, fresh. So I think the Young Bucks are going to get their revenge win back. Yeah, the Young Bucks are going to retain their titles.
Last year, FTR won. Last year, the Acclaim won. Last year, the Bucks lost. Right now, the Elite is at its biggest point and its biggest strength. I am going to go with the Young Bucks. I believe it has to be them to win. I'm nothing against FTR. I don't really want to see it. The Acclaimed won the tag team. What was it? The Trios title last year. Yeah. But either way, this has to... Yeah, it feels more like a Bucks victory than anything else. I don't see what's next for FTR. The Acclaimed are still there, but the buzz, Sesame isn't as sesame as it was last year. Yeah, let the Bucks continue to reign. Let Team Elite be Team Elite and do what they do best. So yeah, I'm going to go for the Young Bucks for the win.
I've heard that this one's become a ladder match, a trio ladder match for the tag team championship. I don't want to see FTR win again at Wembley. I thought the match last year was a massive letdown, frankly, even though I was hyped for it. The Acclaimed are fine, but they're not what they were 9 months ago or 12 months ago. There's zero reason to take the belts off the EVPs at this point. The Young Bucks have to retain. That's my pick. Young Bucks retain.
It's about the Bucks. I know it's Bucks, not Bucks, but either way, they're EVPs now. They're making bucks. Anyway, let's keep it moving. We're now talking the TBS title. Hey, more bucks. Mercedes Moné versus the returning DMD. The dentist will see you now. Which way did we vote? Let's have a look.
Mercedes Moné has seemed to have gotten a little bodyguard now, and obviously she's only just got on board, so the nefarious means is going to continue. I don't think it's going to stop here. Yes, she's been getting the better of Britt Baker, and I think it's just going to continue at Wembley, unfortunately. There probably will be a few title changes at All In, but I think this is one of the titles that won't change hands. She's obviously going to get involved again. Now, someone could obviously appear, but there's no stipulation to this match. It's a straight match, so DQ can happen if someone gets involved and gets caught. So I think because of that now, it's probably going to work in Mercedes Moné's favour. So still your TBS champion, Mercedes Moné.
So here's the thing. When DMD first came back, I thought, you know what? She could be the chosen one. The one to actually take down Mercedes. Yeah, like she is the home talent, if you will. And obviously Mercedes is coming in from the other company. So it seemed like a fitting thing to do. Yeah, to maybe show that AEW's women roster, that this is superior as the other places' roster. However, unfortunately, I feel any plans that had to for DMD to be elevated has been shut in space with backstage shenanigans. And quite frankly, I think maybe they was always gonna keep the belt on Mercedes anyway because she's the shiny new toy. Yeah, so yeah, Mercedes Moné for the win.
Very tough match. Very, very tough match to call. Do we go down Mercedes Moné, 2 belts Moné on her quest for gold? And it doesn't stop short at 2. She's meant to be on a quest for gold, maybe the AEW title, part of that quest for gold. Or does it stop at Britt Baker? I don't know. If you're going to be a belt collector, you've got to have a bit more than 2. But she can drop to Britt, win the AEW women's title, and then go on collecting because now she's got the main stage titles, but she's had the feud. And now you've got probably, arguably, the 2 biggest names holding the gold in the women's division. This is a weird one. But I'm going to go... Look, most people are going to say Mercedes, I know it, but I'm going to go with Britt because she's just returned. I know she's constantly had the upper hand, though. Oh, I don't know. I want to say Britt. But I feel like Mercedes is going to get it somewhere. Oh, I'm taking a leaf out of Den, the textbook here. I'm flipping a coin. Heads for Mercedes, tails for Britt. Tails for Britt. Britt Baker is my new TBS Women's Champion. Please do it. Otherwise, Mercedes is doing the Sasha Banks curse on me. But yeah, Britt Baker for the win.
Well, it didn't take much storytelling for Mercedes to revert to type, did it? She just naturally became a heel. That is her role in life. Mercedes Moné is a better heel than she is a face. It's just as simple as that. I love the fact that Britt Baker's back and we're going to see her perform on a big stage. That's awesome. But Mercedes is retaining here, let's be honest. You're not going to take the belt off Mercedes just yet. Mercedes Moné to win this one.
So yeah, I should go. Is it Britt Baker? DDT on this one? So no, I'm not a fan of Monet. I wasn't going to pick Monet to win because I've already done one shocker, or I'm going to do one shocker with something, but sorry to keep delaying here, but sorry for the dead air. I keep apologizing. I got trauma. I'm going with the dentist to win. I'm not a fan of Monet, and I don't want her to win. She might win, but I'm gonna go with my heart on this card, and the winner is gonna be Britt Baker. I believe that's the name. Britt Baker's gonna win.
I am nervous, but hey, fortune favors the bold. I've said it once and I've said it again. Now, guys, I talked about it from 0 hour. The countdown has gone on, and we've kept this under an hour. But here we go. The final countdown. Is it Bryan Danielson's final countdown, or will he go on? Will he raise the AEW gold, the biggest prize of AEW, of them all in the world of AEW? Is he going to be all in, or will he be all out the door and out of wrestling for good if he loses to Swerve Strickland? Yes, guys, we're talking Swerve Strickland, the current champ, versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW title.
And now the big one, our main event. Yeah, Swerve Strickland taking on Bryan Danielson for the AEW title. And, of course, we're going to be hearing Danielson come down to the final countdown. But will it be for the final time? That's what the real question is now. I think Swerve has had a good run. He's had good matches as the champion. But I don't know. It's a thing of do we want Bryan Danielson to have his final match in front of the biggest crowd possible and retire? Yeah, you don't need to do a big build up to it. Yeah, say, oh, he was retiring on this date. You just shock the fans and make it actually happen. But again, it's in the biggest crowd they're gonna have it. Who knows how long? Yeah. Or do we give Danielson his moment in front of that big crowd and crown him as a champion, just to give him that moment? And to be honest, I do think having Danielson on your roster of world champions is something that looks good. Yeah. That being said, yeah, I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson to become the new AEW world champion.
Yeah, it's Swerve, it's drive time, it's all of that stuff. It's the final countdown to the end of a career. Bryan Danielson. I keep getting the Fed name in my head. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW title. If Bryan Danielson loses, he retires. If Swerve loses, he loses the title. It's very difficult. Bryan doesn't even have a contract. It should be, the writing should be on the wall. It's Tony Khan that scares me on this. This man is a romantic to the degree that Sting remains undefeated until retirement in AEW. And now I think, do we have it that this man wins AEW gold and then just retires? Which kind of sucks for Swerve. Or do we just send him off on his way and he gets the biggest hurrah that AEW can get with, okay, it's not last year, but 50,000 or nearly 50,000 strong to say goodbye to Bryan Danielson? I don't know. I'm torn. But I'm going to say Bryan Danielson for the win because Tony's such a romantic that even if it is going to somewhat hinder Swerve and he goes back and he wins it and then he beats whoever it was in the Casino Gauntlet, that will be the way. hey, who knows? Maybe they'll do it early and Swerve could enter the match and go back through his gauntlet straight away. I don't know, but I'm going to say Bryan Danielson for the win because Tony's a romantic.
And the hardest match of all to call, the career versus title. Listen, I think Swerve has been an amazing AEW World Champion. Absolutely amazing. I admire everything he's done. I love the way he's got the crowd on board. I think his in-ring work is fantastic. There's very little to reproach. Bryan Danielson, for me at least, has been at his best in AEW. I thought he was very good in WWE, but he never wowed me. He's genuinely wowed me now that the shackles have come off in AEW. And what's so clever about this match, I'm sorry if this segment for me goes on a bit long, but what's so damn clever about this match is that it's that perfect sweet spot in wrestling where reality mixes with story, because we know in reality that Bryan Danielson is close to retirement. We know in reality that his contract is up, so there might be that rumor being correct of, hey, he just extended his contract for a bit to have his match at Wembley, and that's how he ends his career. I'd hear all that. I think of Sting and the way we all thought that Sting would lose on his way out, which is what the majority of people do. But as it turned out, Sting and Darby Allin, Sting went out on his shield, holding his shield high as opposed to on it. And Tony Khan showed me by doing that he is a hopeless romantic for the all-time greats, which is lovely. It's a feel-good thing. I think if Bryan Danielson finishes his career without having won an AEW World Championship, Tony Khan is going to look back on that and go, opportunity missed. And I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think Danielson's going to win this. I think it's going to be lovely for him to win his last ever World Championship in a stadium as big as Wembley at an event like All In. I don't think he'll hold it very long. My guess will be he'll probably drop it at Wrestle Dream. To who, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go with the big heart on this one. Swerve's had an amazing run, and I think Bryan Danielson is going to win his last ever World Championship match. And I'm thrilled I'm going to get to see it live, whether he wins or loses. But Danielson is my pick.
Well, career versus title. I like Swerve Strickland. I keep calling him Swerve Strickland. He's a UFC fighter. I don't know why. Hopefully that's his name. And Bryan Danielson. Almost calling him by his WWE name, but yeah, not that. So, career versus thing. I don't think Danielson's done. I've been talking to them quite a bit, and they've been saying stuff like he's going to have a good run. But it's not just a good run. It can't be done. I think he wins, and then he puts a stipulation of the next time he does a Ric Flair. Next time he loses, he retires, and he keeps the belt for a full year, and then he loses it in Texas. Anyway, that's me predicting, but it doesn't matter about the prediction. I'm going with prediction for this time, right now. Bryan Danielson wins.
This one's really hard to determine because, Bryan Danielson could bow out at the top, or he could win and then do a similar thing that John Cena's doing, where he's just got that one last year. Although I haven't heard any renewals of any contracts, I haven't heard of any re-signings, I haven't heard of an extension. If anything, I hear that he needs to take a break more than usual. I hear that he needs to have neck surgery. It's all these things that are going against Daniel Bryan right now. But then that could be not necessarily a work, but they could be saying that it's better than we think it is, when really it's not. Who knows? Either guy could win here. But even if this was Daniel Bryan's last match, it wouldn't hurt him to lose. If you look at what his contributions have been over the years, over his time in wrestling, it's been pretty much of a contribution. So I'm gonna say, still your AEW World Champion Swerve. It's really hard to determine, and I really want to say Bryan Danielson. because he could retire at the top, but at the same time he can afford the loss and he'd still be remembered as one of the greatest to ever do it. So Swerve for the win, and if this is Daniel Bryan's last match, thank you, Bryan Danielson.
Okay, guys, that was the final match. Were we right? Were we wrong? We don't know. We'll only find out at the same time you do when the bell rings and there is a champion crowned. Whether that's retaining or new, time will tell. Guys, as I said before, and I'll say it again, we are going to be at Wembley, Box Park Wembley Stadium, cheering along just like you. Do look out for the Ministry of Wrestling. You see this t-shirt, just throw it up, we'll throw it back. Just come and have a chat with us. We'd love to hear from you guys. So until the next time, guys, I am the one AJ. Thank you for tuning in. And look, just under an hour, so I'm out. Till the next one. See ya.